should draw regulations on an individual basis for each country. That is simply impossible. The differences between the safety standards of a developed country and that of a developing country are numerous. Thus, the standards between the two countries could be incomparable despite being both signatories to the same convention. Such arbitrary measures, again, are deemed ineffective and are prone to failure. Another recommendation from the authors is a simple system based on tiers, whereby each country is regulated according to the adequacy of their domestic safety regulations and the dominant technology utilized. Thus, countries will be placed in groups and a single comprehensive convention. Each group will ensure the gradual improvement and indeed their adherence to the legislation. There is also a proportionality issue, that is, the safety standards for developing countries must be proportional to their mining technology and their outlook toward prioritizing their safety requirements. Now, another oddity example of the codes is that there is no special regard to ground control and stability of miners. The code of practice on roof support, for example, comprises only 6 pages out of 199 pages total of the convention. Most of that chapter, of that 6-page chapter, focuses on power support. Now, power supports are widely used in the US, obviously, but they're mostly used in countries where underground mining is very mechanized, and are definitely not common in smaller mining countries where, in many cases, wooden supports, especially in small-scale mines, are still used. Therefore, that 6-page recommendation, or that 6-page chapter, is ineffective in itself. Another problem of the ILO is the issue of its recency. There's obviously a need to be up to date with the latest technological developments. Although the Code of Practice on Safety and Health in Underground Coal Mines was updated after 20 years in 2006, the other code, that is the Code of Practice on Health and Safety in Open Cast Mines, has not been updated since 1991. 1 year, absolutely. And therefore, in conclusion, we'd like to say that the enforcement of safety regulations in mines is a key step on the road to business sustainability, and that the process of enacting regulations and laws and the reporting system for occupational safety and work-related accidents in many developing countries are poor and in some cases are deteriorating. An example of such deteriorating conditions is India, where in a given year they reported 222 fatal accidents, whereas in Czech Republic in the same year they reported 231. It is to be noted that the Czech Republic has a working population of about 1% of India. The estimates, however, state that the true number of such accidents in India is in fact around 40,000. We would also like to see some contribution from the ILO, some technical contribution by the ILO to the member states to strengthen their response to safety throughout the workplace. Expectations are and it is also to be noted that expectations are significantly higher for an international organization with an annual budget of more than $200 million. That is all, and thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you, Nikzad. The next speaker is Takashi Sasooka. Takashi is an assistant professor at the Department of Earth Resources Engineering in Kyushu University, Japan. He has been holding this position since 2007, and before that, he was a research associate in the same department and a postdoctoral fellow at West Virginia University from 2003 to 2006. Takashi was also a research fellow of Japan. Any questions for Kazem?
Well, it was very interesting to see your presentation, but there was something missing to me in that you did not mention anything about the training of the people and personal protection as well, which seems to be the lowest level of capitalization, things like how clothes, shoes and hats and things like that are of great as important. On the other hand, the eradication of risk, it is an exponential curve. And to get first 80% is relatively easy. At the end, the last 1% costs much more than 99%. And particularly in developed countries, we see the tendency to go to zero risk. It's somehow, in more general terms, it's avoiding of personal responsibility. Everything's supposed to be taken care of by regulations, and no one is guilty whatever happens. So this is not a very good way of doing things, cost-wise and also effectiveness. That eventually, most of the accidents which happens are human error. So eliminating of that seems to be important focus in that action.
Yes, I absolutely agree, and thank you for the suggestions. I will look into them and I will incorporate them into further studies.
Any questions for Takashi? They answered all the questions.